Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again to really dig into some powerful ideas and see what we can pull out for you. Today, it's something that sounds a bit backwards, doesn't it? This idea that, well, the toughest times, the real pressure points in life, they can actually be the launch pad for, your greatest power, transforming that feeling of being crushed into fuel to help you soar.
That's the core of it.
So for this deep dive, we're looking at insights from Bishop T.D. Jakes. His work, deeply rooted in Christian thought, offers some really universal wisdom, I think.
Absolutely. Very practical stuff.
We're pulling from his talks, his writings, especially his book Soar, Building Your Vision from the Ground Up.
Great book.
Our goal really is to find those potent nuggets, things you can actually use, whether you're dealing with work stuff, personal growth, or maybe you just need a bit of inspiration.
And that framing is perfect because we're really going to explore this whole thing through that central metaphor Bishop Jakes uses, that crushing precedes soaring. It really flips how we usually think about hard times, doesn't it?
It does.
We'll dig into how those moments, when you feel under intense pressure, they aren't actually roadblocks or, punishments. They're more like essential stages, things that get you ready for something bigger, for a higher flight. And this isn't just like theory. We want to talk about how this works in the real world, how it can change your perspective on struggle and success no matter what your background is.
Okay, let's unpack that. This core idea that what feels like being crushed is actually somehow vital for growth.
Yeah.
It just goes against the grain. Why would pain lead to progress?
It really does feel that way. But the sources use some really vivid pictures to help us get it.
Like what?
Well, think about the eagle and the eaglet. It's a powerful one.
Okay.
When the mother eagle starts messing up the nest, right? Stops the easy food, pushes the little ones out of that comfy spot.
That sounds terrifying for the eaglet.
Totally. That moment of just falling.
Panic.
Frantic flapping, that's the crushing.
I see.
But it's that exact experience, that, forceful push out of comfort.
Yeah.
That's what makes the eaglet learn to catch the wind, learn to soar.
So the process leads to the promise.
Exactly. Without that initial crushing, there's no soaring. It's like a necessary step.
That's a strong image. So for someone listening, how do they start seeing those necessary ingredients in themselves? And what does pulling back even look like today? Everything's so fast.
Right. Is it reflecting, preparing?
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the arrow analogy, which is also really potent.
Okay, the arrow.
The further back you pull an arrow,
the further it flies.
Exactly. Greater potential trajectory. It symbolizes that, God or the universe, whatever framework you use.
Yeah.
It gives us the basic stuff, the potential, the ingredients for success. But it's my shot, as Bishop Jakes puts it. You have to engage. You have to do the pulling back and the launching.
So it's active.
Very active. Pulling back means like disciplined prep work. Really looking inward, understanding your strength, strategic planning.
Taking a pause.
Yeah, taking that pause to gather energy, sharpen your focus, and then launch with intention, not just hoping for the best.
Gotcha.
And you see that same idea, pressure leading to expansion, in other stories too.
Like the fish and the bread?
Exactly. Brought to Jesus, first he blessed it. Then what?
He broke it.
Broke it, crushed it. And the sources emphasize the more he crushed it, the more it multiplied.
Wow.
It shows how intense pressure, if you look at it through that lens of faith or even just resourcefulness, it can lead to multiplication, not just running out of stuff. The miracle is in the breaking.
Okay.
Or think about kneading dough, something really practical. The more you crush it, knead it, work it.
The better it gets, more pliable.
Exactly. More adaptable. And that lets it rise. So those crushing experiences, they can make us incredibly adaptable, resilient for whatever's coming, shapes us into something more useful, more expansive.
So, okay, the takeaway for you listening. It's maybe trying to reframe those tough moments. See them not just as random hits or, personal failures.
Right.
But as intentional preparation. Like getting you ready for something bigger. These crushing times, whether they're obvious struggles outside or those hidden battles inside.
Emotional pain, money worries.
Yeah, they're not random. They're actually getting you ready for, well, extraordinary blessings, as the sources put it.
Yeah.
And they give you a story, right? A narrative that lets you connect with all sorts of people. From someone struggling profoundly to someone seemingly at the top.
Because you've learned how to handle both the lows and the highs.
Yeah.
To abase and abound gives you that empathy, that understanding across the board. And if you look at the really big picture, the ultimate example of crushing, leading to triumph. It's right there in the emblem of Christianity itself.
The cross.
The cross. It represents that upfront pain, that necessary process that comes before promotion, before transformation. The sources also link it to the brazen altar in the old tabernacle, a place of sacrifice, purification.
Right.
It civilizes that same thing. There's a cost up front, a process you have to go through, like years of training or disciplined effort or facing down your own demons.
Before you get the promise.
Exactly. You have to pay something for promotion. You have to go through process to get a promise. It's right there.
Makes sense.
Even the flour for the sacred bread, the best stuff, it had to be crushed again and again until it was fine enough, refined enough for its purpose.
That brings up a really important point, though, because sometimes the pain feels, well, self-inflicted, right?
Right.
Is there a difference in these teachings between crushing that feels like it comes from God versus just dealing with the consequences of our own bad choices?
That's a great question, a crucial nuance.
Yeah.
The sources suggest, well, sometimes God uses his hand directly, sometimes he uses ours, but either way, we're still in God's hands.
Okay.
It's less about escaping the process and more about understanding why it's happening. Think of pruning a rose bush.
Right. A kid messing around with a knife might just kill the bush, cutting randomly.
Right.
But a skilled gardener, or God in the analogy, knows precisely where to cut to make it more productive later.
Ah, I see.
So God knows exactly where to cut you to make you more productive.
Yeah.
Sometimes our own actions lead us into situations where pruning is needed, definitely. But even those consequences, if you look at them as a chance for growth, can be part of that bigger divine plan for our good.
So building on that, the transformation, these tough times aren't supposed to be permanent addresses, right?
Absolutely not.
They're a catalyst, not the final stop. So how do we know when we're past the crushing part? How do we avoid getting stuck there?
That is spot on. Crushing is a stage. It is not the destination.
Okay.
And it's so important not to get stuck in the pain, making it your whole identity, your permanent address.
That can happen easily.
Oh, yeah. It's sneaky. A form of self-sabotage almost. The pain becomes familiar, comfortable even.
The sources really challenge us. You have to actively shatter your way out. You have to break your way out of that phase.
Bite your way out.
Yes, and come out of it to find your real strength. Like grapes, right. They're best after they've been crushed and turned into wine.
Right, not just left rotting.
Exactly. The transformation is the whole point. You got to participate in your own emergence from that pressure.
Okay, so let's shift then from that maybe uncomfortable crushing part to the empowering act of building.
Yes.
The book's subtitle, Build Your Vision from the Ground Up. It speaks to what the sources call a missing conversation, especially now. You know, the old paths, get a degree, get a job for life. That's not really guaranteed anymore, is it?
Not at all.
Our parents might have pushed us towards a job, but now you can get the education, rack up debt, and still be looking around going, now what?
That's exactly why the call is to retool yourself for the 21st century, to actually be a job instead of just looking for one.
Be a job. How does that work?
It addresses that lack of clear traditional paths, especially for younger folks, but really for everyone. You know, I actually gave Bishop Jakes a nickname.
Oh, yeah?
The Slasher. Because whatever you call him, pastor, author, producer, philanthropist, there's always a slash.
That's true.
He just refuses to be boxed in by one title, one expectation. He keeps diversifying his impact.
Right.
He built this huge, multifaceted career by seeing himself as a solution provider, not just someone waiting for a role. And the sources point to biblical examples, too. Like the Apostle Paul. He wasn't just a speaker. He was a writer, a thinker, a tent maker.
Right. Multiple skills.
His influence spread through all these different roles. And Jesus, too, carpenter's son. But his impact obviously went way beyond carpentry. It shows that embrace of evolution, of diverse ways to make a difference.
Okay. So for you listening, how do you find your own path in this? It sounds like you need to ask. What seeds are lying dormant inside you? Those natural talents, those ways you instinctively solve problems, things maybe you've ignored.
Yeah, that's a great point about finding your, let's say, God-given capacity, your inherent gifts.
Okay.
The sources say to be fruitful, you first got to be seedful.
Seedful. I like that.
It means you have to actively, date yourself. Really figure out who you are, what you're capable of, explore. I remember the story Bishop Jakes tells about his granddaughter, Kenzie. They were in a dark church power outage, and she just instinctively finds a flashlight and offers to hold it for others. Didn't want to be in the picture, wanted to hold the light.
Wow.
And another time, trying to take a selfie, she just stacked up books to prop up the phone. Totally ingenious.
You a problem solver?
Exactly. Her instinct was to fix the problem, enable the light, provide stability. That revealed her seed, that natural tendency to facilitate, to support. Those early instincts, they often point towards our true calling, those talents we can grow into something much bigger.
Okay, so building on that, let's talk work ethic, grinding. Nowadays, being on the grind can mean, chilling on the couch.
Right, eating cereal.
Yeah. But these sources paint a totally different picture of grinding.
Totally different. It's about an incredible, a truly mind-blowing work ethic.
Okay.
It reminds me of the kind of dedication my own father instilled. Laziness wasn't just a bad habit. It was like a disease to him.
Intense.
Yeah. And there's that prophecy Jacob gave for Benjamin. In the morning, he shall devour the prey, and in the evening, he shall divide the spoils.
Okay, what does that mean practically?
It's not just an old verse. It's a call to intensity, purpose. It's urging you, especially if you're young, throw your whole self at something. Attack it with everything you've got while you have that youthful energy, because it doesn't last forever.
True.
And crucially, if that thing doesn't quite work out how you planned, it's not failure.
No.
It's just the thing that leads to the thing, a stepping stone.
Yeah.
A lesson getting you ready for the next, maybe bigger opportunity.
So it's about that persistent effort, even if the path isn't totally clear.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you just stumble into success that way.
Precisely. My own path to making films is like that.
Oh, yeah?
Started with gospel plays. And honestly, they lost money at first.
Really?
Yeah. But we honored where we were, gave it our absolute best shot, even though it wasn't the thing we ultimately aimed for.
Okay.
And that led to collaborating with Tyler Perry on Woman Thou Art Loosed. The play won an award at a film festival, totally unexpected. And boom, it became a movie.
Wow.
The key is honor where you are with your best effort. Dignify that small beginning. Like, being a diligent pastor for 40 people can eventually lead to impacting 40,000.
Be faithful in the small things.
Exactly. That's often the training ground for the bigger stuff.
That sounds like it takes a lot of strategic thinking, too. Resourcefulness.
Yeah.
Especially if you feel like you don't have much to start with.
Oh, absolutely. The sources use this great analogy. God makes trees, not tables.
Trees, not tables. Okay.
God or the universe provides the raw materials, right? Our life, our talents, experiences. It's our imagination, our creativity. Our brain is our defense, the sources say, that's meant to turn those raw trees into finished tables, into solutions.
I see.
Think about all the amazing tech we've built. Phones, apps, satellites, all started as ideas, using the raw materials around us.
Right.
My process involves what I call staring. I just look at what I do have, my life, wife, kids, age, stage, influence, circumstances.
Yeah.
And I actively imagine, what could this be? Because the miracle isn't in what you lost, it's always in what you have left.
That's powerful.
Recognizing the potential in what's right in front of you, no matter how humble it seems, and then using your ingenuity to shape it.
So all this building, this soaring,
Yeah.
it brings us to the cost of soaring. What does that really mean?
Right. To soar, you have to break the law of gravity.
Metaphorically speaking.
Yes, metaphorically. It means overcoming all those forces pulling you back to where you started.
Like what?
Past failures, your comfort zone, other people's doubts, your own limiting beliefs. It's a gravitational pull.
Yeah, it really is.
Breaking free requires immense force, the sources say, and toughness.
Toughness.
There's this wild story Bishop Jakes shares about monkeys on the Rock of Gibraltar.
Monkeys.
In really harsh winters, apparently their tails would sometimes freeze off.
Ouch.
But here's the kicker. Later generations were born without tails. They adapted to the environment.
Whoa. Seriously.
That's the story. It illustrates that kind of deep toughness needed. It's resilience, adaptive strength, the ability to evolve. It's not about being mean or angry at the world.
It's fortitude.
Exactly. Fortitude. Adjusting, persevering, getting stronger through the tough stuff.
Okay, let's switch gears slightly to something critical but maybe overlooked.
Yeah.
Rhythm.
Ah, yes. Rhythm.
We tend to think success is just step by step, linear. But the sources say rhythm is key. What is that?
It's a really deep insight, actually. The sources say everything is a beat.
A beat.
Yeah, from your pulse to the planets moving to the way opportunities flow in life, there's a natural cadence. And hesitation. Hesitation breaks the rhythm. It sabotages what would have just flowed naturally.
Throws everything off.
Like trying to dance with someone totally offbeat, right? You're fighting the current, wasting energy. The enemy comes to break the rhythm, is how the sources put it, meaning distractions, doubts, delays. They're designed to mess up your flow, your momentum, your progress.
I think everyone can relate to that feeling, like being stuck on a runway.
Yeah.
You're in something designed for movement, a plane meant to fly, but you're just sitting there.
Yeah.
Stalled, frustrated.
And that frustration, the sources say that's often God's nudge.
Really?
Or just that deep inner knowing, that restlessness. It's telling you, you belong in the air. It's a signal. Your current spot is temporary. You're meant for more. Think about the woman with the issue of blood in the Bible.
Okay.
Jesus was moving through the crowd. He was not breaking his rhythm. He had his purpose, his flow.
Right.
So she, desperate, had to crawl to catch his rhythm, press through that chaos just to touch him.
Her miracle was in catching the rhythm.
Exactly. Aligning her desperate action with his moving presence. Took huge effort, huge intention not to miss that moment.
So the message for you listening, there's an urgency here.
Yeah.
Not panic, but awareness.
Yes. An awareness that, you're not as young as you think. You don't have forever. This isn't the time to be stuck on a runway. The message is pretty clear. Do not miss your turn.
Don't miss your turn.
Ultimately, this whole journey is about taking conscious control, setting clear goals, and strategically letting go of the stuff that's just not relevant to where you're headed.
Cutting the dead weight.
Exactly. Choosing your path, whether that's, a corporate empire or a quiet log cabin, whatever it is for you, and proactively building a legacy that lasts. It means recognizing that rhythm is there, and it's up to you to step into it, align with it, move forward.
Wow. We've really covered a lot today. From understanding crushing as a catalyst to building your vision by finding those seeds within.
Tapping into your capacity.
And then recognizing that critical role of rhythm and just taking action. It definitely takes resilience, strategy, and just effort.
Unwavering effort. And maybe as a final thought, something provocative for you to take away.
Okay.
Consider that this vision, this soaring, it's meant to go beyond just personal gain.
How so?
Well, the sources challenge us to stop just praying for tables. Just asking for our own needs to be met.
Right.
Instead, become table makers from the trees God provides.
Become the solution.
Yes, by focusing on things that really matter, improving the world, serving others, tackling bigger issues like clean air, clean water, helping people break free from addiction. When we do that, we start aligning with a higher rhythm. Instead of just praying for rent money, we can align our actions with changing the world. Recognizing our purpose is often tied to something much bigger than ourselves.
That is a powerful challenge. So maybe the question for you is, what tree has God given you? What raw material is right there in your life that you need to stare at, imagine, and shape into a table for the world?
Instead of waiting for delivery.
Right. Instead of waiting for it to be handed to you, how can you break free from being stuck? Align with that divine rhythm today. And understand that your action, even if it feels small, it contributes to a much larger purpose, way beyond just you.